want to welcome everybody out. Thanks for coming. We're going to start with the pledge. If you'll join me. Attention, salute, pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Nathan, you recognize for the prayer.
Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to live in the great state of Mississippi. We ask for you to bless our commission, bless everyone in this room, help us to make the best decisions for the citizens of the state of Mississippi. We ask for your hand of protection upon us and to have a great day. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Be seated. We'll start with a few introductions. Commissioner Stamps, you're recognized.
Thank you, Commissioner Brown. I'd like to introduce two young ladies in our office who just came to work with us. Ms. Francesca Rollins is our Chief of Staff. Would you please stand? She brings great experience and a good background. We're looking forward to a great future. And Ms. Tanoa Stamps, no blood relation.
Uh-oh.
But she's our policy director. We finally found someone to fill the shoes of Davis Gates. And we appreciate both of them for their hard work and look forward to welcoming them to the team.
That wasn't hard to do, though, was it? No. I'm just kidding. Welcome to the group. Thank y'all. We'll move on with the consent docket agenda. We'll start with consent docket item 1, adoption of proposed consent docket for the September 2024 meeting of the Commission. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Of second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, we'll go to the energy, electric, natural gas agenda. Mr. Mabry, you're recognized to present item 1, docket number 2012-UN-139.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, CenterPoint filed its annual rate regulation adjustment rider on May 1st, presenting the company's verifiable historical data for the 12 months ended December 31st, 2023. The filing indicated an allowed return on equity of 10.263% with an earned return on equity of 5.11%, which staff and CenterPoint settled at 5.8%, indicating that a revenue adjustment increase of approximately $10 million is warranted. Staff reviewed CenterPoint's filing along with numerous data responses. Staff proposed several adjustments to the company's filed figures. On August 29th, CenterPoint and staff entered into a joint stipulation that decreased rate base by $395,000 and reduced operation and maintenance expenses by $1.4 million. With the reductions to rate base and O&M, the total requested revenue requirement of $10.9 million is reduced to $9.4 million. The increase in revenue requirement is mostly attributable to spending in major capital projects focused on increased steel main replacements as part of CenterPoint's system integrity plan. Per the tariff, the agreed-upon rate increase translates to $4.51 in an average residential customer's bill, lowered from the original $5.19 requested by CenterPoint. Staff recommends approval of the order adopting the joint stipulation.
Okay, any questions?
So move to that.
You have a motion, have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to item number 2, docket number 2023 UN-214. Mr. Mabry, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, on May 1st, CenterPoint filed its supplemental growth rider for the 12 months ended December 31st, 2023. The SGR is designed to encourage industrial development and job creation by providing an incentive for CenterPoint to extend gas service for industrial projects which are not otherwise feasible for the company to fund. CenterPoint may invest without project-specific commission approval up to $5 million annually. CenterPoint may invest in excess of $5 million annually, but only with commission approval. For the 12 months ended December 31st, 2023, CenterPoint invested no new supplemental growth projects. The total net investment in SGR, including prior years, is approximately $3.7 million, which results in a revenue requirement decrease of approximately $57,000. The rate impact of the proposed SGR is a decrease of 14 cents for a residential customer's monthly bill. Staff recommends approval.
Okay, thank you for your explanation. Any questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved adoption.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to item number 3. Mr. Mabry, you're recognized to represent item 3, docket number 2024 UN 132.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, on July 12th, EML filed its annual ad valorem tax adjustment factor. That ad valorem tax adjustment rider, ATA 3, recovers and refunds any difference between the ad valorem taxes, property taxes, included in the company's base rates and those actually paid. The proposed factor will increase from 4.5367% to 5.1807%. The monetary amount associated with the change in the ATA factor is an increase of approximately $8.6 million. The proposed ATA 3 factor provides an increase of 83 cents on a typical residential bill of 1,000 kilowatt hours. The increase in the ATA factor is driven primarily by an increase in projected taxes as a result of the increase in net plant investment, offset slightly by an over-recovery from the prior period and higher projected sales in the rate period. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you for your explanation. Just for clarification, this is basically just a pass-through local tax.
Correct.
So the local municipalities or areas tax and they just pass it through to the ratepayer.
County taxes on EML's properties in the state.
Okay. Any questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll move on to item number 4. Mr. Mabry, you're recognized to present item number 4, docket number 2024 UN 070.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, on July 2nd, MPC filed a notice of special contract between MPC and Colonial Pipeline for the provision of electric service to certain Colonial facilities located in Paulding, Meridian, and Columbia, pursuant to electric service contracts effective May 22nd, 2024. The proposed agreements for electric service qualify as special contracts pursuant to Mississippi Code annotated 77.335.1 and Rule 27.1 of the MPSC's Public Utilities Rules of Practice and Procedure. The agreement achieves the necessary goals of a special contract, including that it recovers sufficient revenues to meet incremental cost of service to Colonial, and that it contains a price sufficiently competitive to retain the customer, and that the revenues received by MPC from the agreement will provide a contribution margin above MPC's incremental cost of service. Contribution margin will benefit MPC's other retail customers. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you for your explanation. Any questions? Have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Move on to item 5. Mr. Mabry, you're recognized for this one as well. Docket number 2024 UN 083.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, on July 29th, MPC filed its annual petition for changes to its regulatory tax recovery schedule, RTR, rates pursuant to Section 77.387 of the Mississippi Code. This annual tax is levied by the Department of Revenue on all regulated utilities to fund the expenses of the commission and staff. The total tax assessed by MPC for 2023 was approximately $1.7 million, down $7,800 from 2022. This results in no increase on a typical residential bill of 1,000 kilowatt hours. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Mr. Mabry. Any questions?
Here none.
Hearing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to item number 6. Docket number 2024 UN 095. Mr. Mabry, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, on August 22nd, MPC filed a notice of special contract between MPC and Chemours Company FC LLC for the provision of electric service to Chemours at certain Chemours facilities located within MPC's certificated service area in Harrison County. The proposed agreement for electric service qualifies as a special contract pursuant to Mississippi Code annotated 77-335-1, and Rule 27-1 of MPC's Public Utilities Rules of Practice and Procedure. The agreement achieves the necessary goals of a special contract, including that it recovers sufficient revenues to meet incremental cost of service to Chemours, that it contains a price sufficiently competitive to retain the customer, and that the revenues received by MPC from the agreement will provide a contribution margin above MPC's incremental cost of service. The contribution margin will benefit MPC's other retail customers. Staff recommends approval.
This is actually going to create some jobs down there, isn't it? The new line?
75 jobs total,
Awesome. Great, and no cost to the ratepayer.
no cost.
Awesome. Thank you for your explanation. Any questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Mabry. Moving on to the telecommunications agenda. Commissioners, I'd like to ask to make a motion to take items 1 through 29, which are the annual ETC certifications, together and incorporate the telecommunications agenda, items 1 through 29, into the minutes. Any questions?
You know, I wasn't going to vote for this, but the hard work of the telecommunications staff provided maps so you can kind of see where the work is going. Because when we were first presented with this item, it was just, you know, figures on paper. But maps allow us to hold folks accountable, and I appreciate the staff for working hard to provide that and working with our staff to do this as well. So I thank you very much, and I'm going to support it, and I'll support voting for it in the block.
Any more questions? Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Jones, you're recognized to present items 1 through 29.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, each entity listed in the telecommunications agenda items 1 through 29 has timely filed its annual FCC.
We can't hear you. Can you get close to the mic, or is it on?
Is that picking it up better?
Yeah, better.
Okay.
Just move it a little closer. Thanks.
Excuse me, Commissioners. Each entity listed in the telecommunications item agendas 1 through 29 is timely filed as annual FCC Form 481 and other certifications required by the revised eligible telecommunication carriers checklist as set forth in this Commission's November 15th, 2012 order in docket number 2005 AD 0062. These filings certify that the federal high-cost support provided to each of these telecommunication carriers was used in the preceding year of 2023 and will be used in the upcoming year of 2025 only for the provision, maintenance, and upgrading of facilities and services for which the support is intended. The staff, upon review of these filings, recommends the Commission certify each company as an eligible telecommunication carrier for the purposes of continuing to receive such high-cost support for the 2025 USF program year.
Thank you, Mr. Jones, and I'll echo Commissioner Stamp's remarks. Thank you for your work in identifying all these for us so we can help represent
Yes, sir.
the people that rely on this service. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Could you just, for the sake of the public, inform folks how much money this is in all these items?
Yes, I can. In the total, in the year of 2023, Mississippi ETCs received $155 million in high-cost support and approximately $11 million in low-income lifeline support. That's a total.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Do I have a motion?
So move.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Move on to the next item. Mr. Jones, you're recognized to present item 30, docket number 2024 UN 056.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, this is an application of Connection Connect, which is one of the approved ETCs for an expansion of their Lifeline area where they can offer the Lifeline services. They've been pre-approved already. They also have received BEAM funding. And so they're requesting, in addition to the areas adjacent to their RDOF funding, Lifeline expansion, to also include those areas for which the census blocks are covered by BEAM awards. So We reviewed it, and we recommend the approval.
Any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you again for you and your staff, Mr. Jones.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Moving on to the water and sewer agenda, Mr. Rhodes, you're recognized to present item 1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Kiel Water and Fire District has filed a petition with the Commission to seek a supplemental certificate for public convenience and necessity authorizing the acquisition, construction, and operation of facilities for sewer systems in Hancock County, Mississippi. The proposed expansion includes an area east of Kiel, Mississippi. The expansion will allow Kiel to
Excuse me,
provide.
if you can get a little closer to the mic again,
Okay,
sorry.
sorry
Thank-
about that.
thank
Can you hear me better?
Much better, thanks.
The proposed expansion will include an area located east of Kiel, Mississippi. The expansion will allow Kiel to provide additional sewer service to 62 additional households, bringing the total customer base to 1,267. The Kiel Utility Fire District expects steady growth in this area in the foreseeable future. The treatment of sewer collection will be handled by the Hancock County Utility Authority. Approval of a $1.4 million investment in infrastructure is being made to extend service to the proposed area. The Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality has performed a technical review of the plans and has given their preliminary approval. Investment in the sewer infrastructure is being funded through 2 separate grant programs. There will be no change in existing rates for households already on the system. The proposed legal descriptions, maps, and lists of interested parties have been confirmed by our GIS and mapping specialists. The infrastructure project is expected to be completed in the fall of 2025. After reviewing the information filed, staff's opinion in the area of expansion and the infrastructure serves the best interests of the community. The Kiel Utility Fire District has established a history of providing reliable and consistent service to its customers. It is staff's recommendation that the supplemental certificate be approved.
Okay. Thank you for your explanation, Mr. Rhodes. Any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to item number 2. Mr. Rhodes, you're recognized to present docket number 2024 UA 047.
The Kiel Water and Fire District has filed a petition with this commission seeking a supplemental certificate for public convenience and necessity authorizing the acquisition, construction, and operation of facilities for water systems in Hancock County. The details of this filing are basically, Commissioners, the same as what I just presented for the sewer, so I don't want to be redundant today, so I'm just going to kind of identify some of the differences. The water system is significantly bigger than the sewer system. They have 2,364 customers when these 62 will be added. The cost of the infrastructure is just a little bit higher too. It's $1.8 million. The cost of this project is higher due to some additional piping required for the water and fire hydrants that are going to be going into that area. So all of the other facts of the case, the approval, the mapping, and everything's the same. So for the water system as the sewer system, we would recommend approval of this certificate.
Okay. Thank you for your explanation. Any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll move on to item number 3. Mr. Rhodes, you're recognized to present docket number 2024 UA 060.
Yes. The Fannin Water Association has filed a petition with the Commission seeking a supplemental certificate of convenience and necessity authorizing the acquisition, construction, and operation of facilities for water service in Rankin County, Mississippi. Fannin Water Association is seeking to expand their certificated area to provide service in a 513-acre parcel of land that runs along Highway 25 over and down Skull Road. In addition to service area expansion, infrastructure improvements are also being proposed in this petition. Fannin Water Association has submitted a $1.3 million construction proposal, which will include a 12-inch PVC water main, gate valves, and fire hydrants, and additional service connections. These improvements will not just benefit future customers, but will allow the association to provide a hydraulic connection loop to provide consistent water pressure to all customers. This will allow the association to connect with households that are located in the certificated area, but the infrastructure has not been in place to actually serve those customers. The distribution improvements are being funded through the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund. The Mississippi Department of Health has issued their approval for the project, and the proposed legal descriptions and maps have been confirmed by our GIS and mapping expert. From the facts that are presented in this filing and information obtained from data requests, the staff thinks the area expansion and distribution improvements are in the best interest of the community. It's staff's recommendation that Fannin Water Association be granted a supplemental certificate as it is financially fit and able to operate and maintain the water system.
Great. Thank you for your explanation. Are there any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Rhodes. Thank you for your presentation. Moving on to the administrative agenda, item 1, discussion possible action regarding the approval of commission minutes for the August 2024 term of commission. Any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Of second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 2. Mr. Hammond, you're recognized to present item 2.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, this is an order of referral in docket 2023 UA 129. It's a filing by the Magnolia Utility Association for a supplemental certificate. The order before you refers it to Laura Dixon for hearing.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 3, Mr. Hammond, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, this is a sale and transfer filed in 2024 UA 61, filed by Utility Services, Inc. and the Adams County Water Association. It's a sale and transfer utility services certificate being transferred to the association. The order before you refers that to me for hearing and report and recommendation.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hammonds. Any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on to item 4. Mr. Hammonds, you're recognized to present item 4.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, this is a filing by Lowndes Solar LLC for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to construct, own, and operate a solar electric generating facility in Lowndes County. The order before you refers it to Chairman Brown for hearing.
Thank you. Any questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Moving on to item 5. Mr. Hammond, you're recognized to present items 5 and 6. If you will.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, this is a sale and transfer filing in 2024 UA 71 and 2024 UA 93. It is a sale and transfer filed by Utility Services, Inc. and the Hancock County Utility Authority. It's a water and wastewater certificated area. It's the Oak Harbor subdivision in Hancock County. The order before you refers that to me for hearing.
And we included those two because it's basically the same thing.
That's correct.
Any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 7. Mr. Hammond, you're recognized to present item 7.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before you are 4 orders, 2 in 2024 UN 64 and 2 orders in 2024 UN 65. This is a filing made by Kent Municipal Utilities for an adjustment in their rates. The City of Madison and Bear Creek Water Association filed motions to intervene in those dockets. Canton filed an objection to those. However, the order before you finds that granting intervention for the City of Madison and Bear Creek is appropriate. So the orders before you grant 4 motions to intervene, 2 in the water case and 2 in the sewer case.
Any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any other business to come before the commission or comments? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to appreciate, she's not here today, but in her absence, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Ms. Susan Watkins for her hard work and dedication over the years at the Mississippi Public Service Commission, specifically in the Central District. And we look forward to hopefully working through this and moving forward in a prosperous way. And I look forward to a bright future.
Amen. Any other questions? Again, thanks staff for all you do to get us prepared prior for this meeting and all the hard work you do. So thank you all. Hearing no other business, we stand adjourned.